In this training video, we're going to talk about posting non-offering income to Jewel. As you know, the most common type of church income is tithes and offerings collected on Sabbath. However, many churches receive income from other sources such as rent income, or refunds from returned purchases, insurance payments for damage claims, in-gathering reversion checks from the conference, or conference evangelism funds. These are just a few of the more common types of non-offering income received by churches. It's important to note that such non-offering income should be deposited and posted separately. That's right. If you get an evangelism check from your conference, do not include that in your Sabbath offering deposit. It's important to post this separately, and since we want to make sure that there is a one-to-one correlation between items deposited and items posted to Jewel, it's important to deposit these non-offering income items separately, and then to post them to Jewel separately. Now that you have made that separate deposit, the next question that comes up is, how do I post this non-offering to Jewel? Do I use Start New Offering and list the conference as the donor of the evangelism funds? Well, Start New Offering indicates that there is an offering to be posted. If it's non-offering income, it should not be posted through the donor system. Isn't there another option for posting deposits to Jewel? The answer is yes. Go to Accounting and make General Journal Entry. This General Journal Entry has a separate training video to tell you and remind you of when not to use General Journal Entry. But posting non-offering income is the perfect time to use the General Journal Entry. You can accept the default date unless you want to record that the deposit was made a week ago, in which case you could override that date with the actual deposit date. The memo should clearly describe what item is being deposited. We're going to say that we've just received a $5,000 evangelism appropriation check from the conference, and that's what we'll put in the memo. To deposit 2016 conference evangelism funds. Note that abbreviations are appropriate since there is a limited amount of space in the memo line. Make sure that the dot is indicating deposit so that it will appear on the deposit report. This is income to the church, so we put $5,000 here and hit enter and enter. Because the conference has requested that we post these funds to an account that clearly indicates that it's conference funded, we will select Evangelism GCC funded rather than just putting it into Evangelism locally funded. We would then select OK to bring that account in and record $5,000 of evangelism funds. Let's now do a new entry and post our rent income. Once again, we want to record a memo that clearly describes the source of the income and the nature of the income. To deposit May rent income, Grace Bible Church. It again is a deposit. The income amount is, we'll say $500. And the account we should put it to would be whatever account the church board has voted to post it to. Most churches will want to track that. So we will actually, this is the first month we've been renting to this Grace Bible Church. This is the first income, let's say, that we've received from them. So when we put rent income in as an account, it tells us that this is a new account, can't be used unless we add it. Do we want to add it? We say yes, and it takes us to the chart of accounts so we can choose an appropriate place to put it. Income should be up, I recommend, up near the church budget line. So we'll give it a line of 82, a number of 8250. And the $500 of rent. Please note that if your church indeed got $500 of rent income and $5,000 of evangelism money in the same month or in the same week, it would be important to deposit each of those checks separately so that they could be posted separately and clearly described in the memo lines. Before closing this training video, I'm going to demonstrate by selecting New Entry one other type of non-offering income. Let's use the example of your church having had a recent evangelistic campaign or a situation where you had purchased a lot of sharing books from the ABC. At the end, you realized you hadn't used all you had hoped to use, and you opted to return for a refund the remaining books. So we're going to post a refund for those books. To deposit ABC refund, returned sharing books. This once again is a deposit. The income amount we'll say is $78. And we're going to take it and post it back to the account that was originally charged for the purchase. And that would be literature and books. And that would be an income of the same $78. We have now covered 3 examples of non-offering income and how to post them. If you ever have questions, feel free to contact the auditors. We're here to help.